Hey guys, Sam from Manfa's Makes. How are you all? Welcome back to all my returners, and hi to any newbies. It's so great to have you here. Please do stick around a while, and if you like what you see, give me a thumbie. They are free. So, how'd you like my new specs? Anyway, you will be seeing this on Tuesday, the day after Christmas, but we have had a little bit of trouble being able to squeeze all these videos in and scheduling them out in any kind of sense or order. I've gotten myself into a little bit of a pickle. So today's video is going to be me just having a quick chat with you, going through some of my family's Christmas traditions. Now, it is going to be too late in the day for this year because it's been and gone, but you could maybe jot some of these ideas down for next year and incorporate them into your families. Now, that is not compulsory. That is entirely your choice. But I would also like to hear down in the comments some of your guys' traditions to see if there is anything we can add to ours. Because every family is different. Just going to move the camera slightly. There we go. Every family is different, everybody celebrates in a different way, and I think we can all glean some inspiration and some magic from each other. And you know what? Christmas is a magical time of the year. It's one of my favourite times of the year. And yeah, I'm just interested to know what bits and pieces you guys do. And maybe something that we do might be something you want to start for you and your family. So I am going to run these down as quickly as possible because between you and me, don't tell anyone, I am actually filming this on Christmas Eve and I am due to leave very, very soon to go and stay with my parents. I have left this so last minute and I am going to have to creep back to get these videos uploaded. Honestly, guys, when I say I got myself in a pickle, I got myself in a pickle, but giving you daily content is something I feel strongly about, so here we are. Okay, so every year we go to my mum and dad's, and I have been doing that since obviously I was a child because it was my house. And even when I was with the boys' dad, we spent most Christmases there. We did host Christmas a couple of times here, but everyone felt that it just wasn't the same, and we went back to going back to mum and dad's. And the whole time that Mike and I have been together, we have been going to my parents as well. Now, the length of stay does vary. It can be a minimum of 3 days up to a week. It just depends, you know, when Christmas falls, what day of the week Christmas is on, that sort of thing. So this year we will be staying from the evening of Christmas Eve right the way through until the 27th, because here in the UK, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day and the day after Christmas Day is called Boxing Day here, and that is a holiday as well. And then we normally go home the day after Boxing Day. So that is what we are doing this year. We are going to go there and we are going to have a fabulous time. And like I've said in previous videos, this will be the first year for quite a while where we have small kiddies. My brother's 2 children, my 2 nephews, are spending Christmas at my mum's as well with my brother, which is going to be really, really lovely. A lot of the magic is going to come back because as children get older, you know, the magic starts wearing off, and you know, teenagers that don't want to get out of bed and are a bit like, yeah. So to have little ones is just going to be fabulous. It's going to be loud, it's going to be chaotic, it's going to be exhausting, but in a real happy, positive way, and I cannot wait. But obviously when you're seeing this, it will have already happened. So I will fill you in later in the week of how Christmas went. So Christmas Eve, the traditions have varied over the years. Like I said, as the kids have got older, we do the obligatory putting out a plate for Santa, or we call him Father Christmas, for when he comes and delivers the presents. Now, it has varied from milk and cookies, always a carrot for Rudolph. We always put a carrot out, always have. Sometimes it's been a mince pie, Sometimes it's been a pork pie. Sometimes it's something maybe one of the children have made, especially for Father Christmas. The treat varies, but it's normally a sweet treat. Occasionally there has been a savoury treat left, but it just depends how the boys were feeling in that particular year. Sometimes it's been milk, sometimes it's been lemonade, sometimes it's been an alcoholic adult beverage. But one year was extremely funny when one of the boys looked at me and said, "We cannot leave Father Christmas a bottle of beer or a glass of whiskey, Mum." So I said, "Why not, darling?" And he said, "He may get stopped for drink driving and I don't want him to have an accident." So for a couple of years the alcoholic beverage stopped. But it's basically whatever they fancy putting out, but there is always a carrot for Rudolph. So we lay out the plate just before they go up to bed, but prior to them going to bed we have done everything from going on a big long bike ride or walk in the afternoon of Christmas Eve to tire them out, ready to get them settled and to sleep so that Father Christmas can come. We haven't needed to do that for the past few years because obviously they're older, but that used to be a thing. We also used to get these little sachets of what was known as reindeer dust, and basically it was oats and glitter in a little bag that they would sprinkle over the lawn, and it had a lovely little poem attached to it, saying how with the stars shining bright and the glitter glistening, they'll know to land here, there are children waiting. Father Christmas knows anyway, but just to, doubly make sure he's going to stop, we used to spread the reindeer dust on the lawn. Every year the boys have been given their Christmas Eve boxes, and that is where they get to open their box on Christmas Eve, and inside are some sweet treats, a new pair of Jim Jams, normally Christmas themed, to get all in the spirit and in your fresh clean Jim Jams before going to bed, and then maybe a couple of little games and colouring activities or sticker books or something like that, just to keep them occupied in that bit where it's too early to go to bed. But we do need to kind of settle down and have, quiet quality time. Or we'd put a movie on. They used to get a new movie in their boxes. Just things like that, just to keep them occupied for the evening before it was time to go up to bed. And they still get their Christmas Eve boxes now. Some years Santa or Father Christmas must have been flying over, wasn't ready to stop, and their Christmas Eve boxes magically fell off the sleigh into the garden that they had to go and hunt them for. Other years their elf on a shelf have left their Christmas Eve boxes for them. So we do quite a few things on Christmas Eve. We do try and settle down and watch a family movie as well, which is always pretty lovely. And then everyone's showered in their clean gin jams, watching their movie, and when the movie's finished it's up to bed. And then Father Christmas always leaves them their stockings on their bed, so that if they wake up in the early hours of the morning or before everyone else is awake, they know that they are allowed to open their stockings, discover what's inside, and keep themselves occupied with that until it is time to go downstairs and see what Santa has left for them. And that can range from, when they were little, like bubbles and a few little chocolates, just stocking stuffers. You all know what stocking stuffers are, but enough to keep them intrigued and occupied until it was ready for the rest of the household to get up and join in. And then when they had opened their stockings, inevitably within an hour they were coming in to the grown-ups, eagerly wanting to show us what they got in their stockings. And then, cups of teas and coffees were being made, and we were slowly getting our dressing gowns on and, going to go downstairs. And then when we are ready to go downstairs to see what the big guy himself has left, we started a tradition a few years ago, and I have mentioned on a previous video, but I'll mention for those that haven't heard. a few years ago, we had the bright idea to, once all the presents had been delivered, to get wrapping paper, leave the door open, and then put wrapping paper over the entrance of the door. And then each year, a different child, they'll take it in turns to run through and burst through the paper of the doorway and be the first to see what has been left for everybody. And that is something that they still love and enjoy to this day. This year it's little Max's turn, and he has said, because the youngest of my nephews, who's going to be 2 in March, because he's never burst through the door, he's going to have him on his hip and they're going to run through the paper together, and he cannot wait. And then it's just a frenzy of everyone unwrapping presents, and sometimes we will have a little bit of a Bucks Fizz or a little breakfast alcoholic drink, and we sometimes let the children partake, but obviously tiny amount. And yeah, they just excitedly tear into their gifts, show us what they've been given, and then it's the grown-ups' turn to open a few of their gifts. And then it's basically a case of finding something to occupy yourself with before we have our roast turkey dinner. We normally have our roast turkey dinner between 12 midday and 1 o'clock, and that is because there is another round of gifts that are hidden under the tree in the dining room. So they have lots of presents in the morning, and then just a few more little tokeny gifts in the afternoon, just to let the day play out a little bit longer. So they then get those gifts, and we all look at those, and absolutely amazing. And then if they've been given something big like a bike or a scooter, we have been known to ready assemble those items, hide them in the garage, which is separate to the house, and they have to go hunting for another present. Sometimes we do them treasure maps, sometimes we give them clues or riddles to work out. This year they have all got a main present, which is not going to be in their morning pile or their afternoon pile, and they are going to have to go searching for their main present, which will cause a lot of chaos and laughter, I'm pretty sure. We haven't always done the presents in the living room with the papered door, though. There have been other times where my mum is just the fountain of fun. She really is. She came up with the idea that Santa couldn't get down from the roof, so he piled up their presents in the attic, and then we had a conveyor belt of people, one up the ladder, bottom of the ladder, and all the way down the stairs, and we were just passing all the gifts from the attic downstairs and putting them in people's piles before they could open them. That was a hilarious year. The look on the children's faces when they didn't think they'd gotten anything. It's a bit mean, really, but they were well made up when they figured out that they must be in the attic, and we all had to do a team effort to bring them down. Lots of craziness, lots of shenanigans, lots of good food and drink, and just being together and quality family time. And yeah, it really is my favourite time of the year, guys. Like I said, we have traditional turkey roast, so it's the roast turkey, roast potatoes, the veggies that are done, Yorkshire puddings, stuffing, pigs in blankets, which for us are little chipolata style sausages wrapped in bacon, which are amazing. And then obviously gravy and stuff like that, but like a brown gravy, not a white gravy. And then a couple of different choices for pudding or dessert. And then in the evening, it's just kind of a help yourself to, what's in the fridge, what's in the cupboard, that sort of thing. And then the day after, which is Boxing Day, and inevitably my dad will have a little afternoon snooze on the sofa when all the excitement and merriment is kind of done with, all the presents have been opened and everyone's occupied with their new stuff. And then Boxing Day, we get up, we have a cooked breakfast, and a buffet is laid out about lunchtime. Any of the cold leftover meat from before, salads and pickles and bread and anything you can think of buffet style is pretty much on that table all day, and then people can just pick and help themselves and just keep going back all day long. And another thing that my family have started doing for several years now is the children will have a set number of what we call scratch cards. I'm not sure what you call them over the pond, but the little rectangular things where you scratch off the foil to see if you've won a monetary amount. They all have a set number of cards that they each have to find, and they've been hidden behind picture frames and under ornaments and in drawers and in socks and wallets and you name it. It's a big old treasure hunt. And then when the children have found theirs and they're scratching theirs off, it's the adults' turn. So we do our scratch card treasure hunt. And there is always one person that's struggling to find all of theirs. And inevitably, my mum and dad, even though they have made a list of where they hid them all, they lose track of them. And they found scratch cards like a few months later because that one person wasn't able to find them, which is quite funny. And there is a general rule that if it's anything below £100, the person can keep it. If it's above £100, then it needs to be shared. But I think even if it ever did become that amount, because it's never happened, I don't think my parents would insist that it was shared. So yeah, we do the scratching card treasure hunt, buffet all day long. Again, chilling with all of our new things, spending time together, playing games, watching movies, all the traditional things, guys. And any family that want to come and visit that didn't come Christmas Day, they pop in and exchange gifts, and it's just a really, really lovely couple of days. And here in the UK, there are the Boxing Day sales, so all of the stores put on their special sales for first thing Boxing Day morning. Now, we never partake in that. It is just crazy bedlam, and we really don't need to be going out shopping for more stuff after getting our Christmas gifts. And then, of course, there are the January sales as well for the new year. I do sometimes go and hit the shops to see what January sales there are. And that's when I top up on things like wrapping paper, tags, gift bags and stuff for the next year because you get them dirt cheap. Any Christmas decorations that might be at a really, deeply discounted price, again, to put back for the following year. Any gadgets or gizmos that people had on their lists or really wanted this year but didn't manage to get, if they're on sale for an even better price, get them for the following year. I think you know where I'm going with this, guys, but that's not until January. And this year I worked Christmas Eve and I will be working Boxing Day, so I will be absent for some of it, but that's okay. That's not a problem. I have to do what I have to do, right? And then, yeah, the rest of Boxing Day is just chilled, movie watching, chocolate eating, any food eating, to be fair. Just eating, drinking and being merry and enjoying each other and getting some quality time, all as one. And then the day after Boxing Day is when we start grabbing it all together and loading up the car, and then we have to come home and find places for it all to live now. Yeah, that's not the fun bit, and do all the washing from being away for a few days and all that kind of thing, but the merriment does have to come to an end at some point. So I think I've covered most of our traditions that we do every year. I do think my mum has come up with a couple of plans this year that may be slightly different, and if she does, I'll let you know about those. Yeah, so just real fun times full of love and laughter and being together, and that is what it truly means to me, guys, and I really do cherish my Christmases. I really do. I know Christmas is really hard for some, and I know some people are alone, and that makes me sad, but it also makes me lucky, and therefore it makes me appreciate more what I do have with my family, and long may it continue, selfishly. But I hope whatever you guys got up to, you had a whale of a time. I hope you got everything that you wanted on your Christmas list. I hope you managed to get some quality family time. I don't think much crafting is going to be done this week, guys. So I think crochet catch up on Friday may be very, very short and sweet, because we're just going to be focusing on the children and the bigger family, and just taking a breath, actually, which is very much needed. But we always think of you guys every single day, and we always try and get content out for you so that, you know, if you are on your own, you have company, you know that someone cares about you, someone loves you. Yeah, so I better shake my tail feather and get going, because although this is being seen after Christmas, I'm actually about to head off to start my Christmas. So, like I said, I hope you had a fabulous one. Let me know some of your traditions down in the comment section. I'd really like to know. Maybe you would like to adopt a couple of the things that my family does for your family next year. But yeah, so come back tomorrow, because we have got Christmas card exchange part 4 and bumper happy mail for you. It is about an hour-long video, that one, guys. So be warned, grab a project, grab a drink, grab some lovely food, and just settle in and join us for that one. And thank you to everyone that is featured in tomorrow's video. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching me today. Please come back tomorrow. Mike and I will be here, and it will be so great to see you. Thank you for all your love and support as always. But until then, stay safe, be kind, look after one another, get some good quality time in with your loved ones, and get some good quality crafting time in. I will see you in the next one, or around the YouTube streets. Bye guys, love you loads.